What's up, YouTubers and RVers? Handyman Henry here, and this is Henry's box truck conversion project.
That's life on the farm, I guess. Hey, horses need love too. Alright, so I went to go get just the pieces for the walls, and I'm gonna try this guy out, see if this 1.5 inch thick board fits on this top ceiling. Yeah, it's got somewhat of an arch, so I don't know if this board is going to bend, but we'll find out. Not working, so I got all hyped up for this thing, so I am gonna go return this, exchange it. I still think it was a good idea, but this one doesn't work today, so. So it took a couple hours to cut all of this styrofoam with this little knife. It's a little serrated knife, so it was actually not too bad. You know, after a while I got a little rhythm going and was able to cut all this stuff pretty quickly. So that's one wall done. I still have this wall to go and the ceiling. So the other day, I don't know what happened with the hot iron, but it wasn't working. It was just smoky, but it wasn't heating up. But today it worked. The ones that I cut with the hot iron, I haven't been able to do straight, consistent lines as opposed to cutting it with the knife. So I'm just gonna cut it with the knife instead. I think this is still a good idea. Fixed better so that it's not moving too much around. This needs to be raised up. and I need to have a better system to kind of run it through. This was just a tryout, so it works. It just needs to be modified so that it's making consistent straight lines all the time. But other than that, it seems to be working okay. I'm running it off the 2000 watt Predator. Works great. It burns through it great, but as far as just the way I'm doing it, it's not consistent straight lines, and I don't like that. So I'm just going to continue cutting it by hand with the knife. I bought this portable toilet. Eventually I like to install a permanent RV toilet in here once I figure out the layout for my bathroom. I paid $71 on eBay, free shipping. So this seems like a pretty cool toilet. This is temporary. This is not a permanent RV toilet, but it has all the RV. Well, it has an RV. What do you call it? Valve, gate, whatever they're called. Yeah, you can see it. It comes RV toilet treatment. So the way this works is that you fill it with water here, and you can flush the toilet with this little pump. You can drain it from here. Holding container comes undone, so when you flush it this way, and then you close it, and you can take this whole thing. I guess you can just take this whole thing and dump it somewhere, I don't know, at a gas station. Even take it to a gas station bathroom and just dump it, and then hook it back on. Fill your fresh water here, you plunge it here, and it's a cool little temporary toilet that I can use. Really, this is just for an emergency, really. If I'm out on the road, I prefer to use a public restroom somewhere. This will just be a temporary. It's not too bad. It'll get the job done. But the reason I brought this in right now is because I need a table to work on. So a neighbor with another horse just brought his horse for mating. So we're about to go see how that turns out. So I guess a neighbor has a female horse that's in heat, so they brought her over to mate, and I guess the stallion is a young horse, so he's never done it before, so they're trying to kind of help them and coordinate the whole process, because apparently it can be dangerous for the horses. They can hurt themselves. I don't know. So they're just trying to kind of facilitate the process. In my opinion, I think they should just let him loose and just let him get down to it whenever they're good and ready. I'm pretty sure they'll figure it out eventually, but I don't know too much about this kind of farm stuff, so who knows why. So after several minutes of wrangling and wrestling, eventually the magic happens. And yes, that guy just grabbed that horse's penis and stuck it inside. And I guess just like that, it's over. Man, that was pretty wild. That's life on a farm, I guess. Hey, horses need love too. What I have to consider is this little bevel here. So I'm gonna have to cut an angle on both sides of the styrofoam board, so it does tuck in that side and it does tuck into this side. So this is the profile I was able to get. I got the two lowest points of the angle, which was the biggest angle, so I got 22.5. So I did 22.5, 22 3/4, and then I got a straight edge and measure the distance between the edge of my straight edge and that, and I got about 3/4 of an inch. So I ended up actually cutting an inch away from the edge. This is just a template that I'm using for boards, but the other thing that I've noticed is that it will stick out about 1/4 inch below this metal arch, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It'll just be more insulation. One thing that I'm concerned about is that since there's no insulation in between underneath these columns, I might get these hot spots or even hot stripes along the ceiling. So one thing that I'm actually considering is drilling holes along these columns and just squirt them with the styrofoam, the spray can styrofoam, and just fill that in. This is an 1.5 inch styrofoam. The ones on the walls are just an inch, but the ceiling is going to be an 1.5 inch, and that's because this column extends out to 1.25 inches. So unfortunately, I don't. Home Depot don't sell 1.25 thickness, which would have been ideal, so it can be flush to this, but it's still not. It's not too bad. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is what my first ceiling insulation panel looks like. And I just have some tape holding it up right now. And as you can see, it has a, you know, once flushed, it has a little lip that hangs down about 1/4 inch. So I will have to fill this in once I put my paneling up there. Alright, there's the second piece. Eventually I'll put a panel and screw into these metal studs.
Alright YouTubers, thank you for watching, and I hope you find value in these videos. If so, go check out my other videos that I have so far on my channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe and stay up to date with all the videos that I have on this box truck conversion. So subscribe. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, or just leave a comment and let me know what you guys think. This is Handyman Henry, and I hope I see you guys on the next video. Thanks.